This is the Master's Harvest, video number 31, a time, 2 times, and half a time. Today is February 1, 2025. I am your host, Daniel Berglund. As usual, I have prepared a document for today's study. It is available as a link in the description box below. A time, 2 times, and half a time, February 1, 2025. When will a time, 2 times, and half a time of Daniel 7:25 take place? He shall speak words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and shall think to change the times in the law, and they shall be given into his hand for a time, 2 times, and half a time. It must be soon. The time span of a time, 2 times, and half a time has to take place before George Bush Jr. and Barack Obama die at the same time. These two ex-presidents are the two little wings who are being kept until the eagle's end. They are identified here as two little wings. From 2 Esdras chapter 11, verse 24, "And I looked, and behold, two little wings, separated from the 6, and remained under the head that was on the right side." These two little wings were first seen as members of a group of 8 little wings. "And I looked, and out of his wings, of the 3-headed eagle, there grew opposing wings, but they became little puny wings." This from 2 Esdras chapter 11, verse 3. And from 2 Esdras chapter 11, verse 11, "And I counted his opposing wings, and behold, there were 8 of them." Next, we learned that the 8 little wings are candidates for the position of ruler. They rose up or campaigned to hold the rule, that is, win the election. From 2 Esdras chapter 11, verses 20 and 21. "And I looked, and behold, in due course, the wings that followed, that is, the 8 little wings, also rose up on the right side in order to rule. There were some of them that ruled yet disappeared suddenly, and others of them rose up but did not hold the rule." 2 of the little wings separated from the rest of the little wings and remained on the right side. They planned to set themselves up, or to campaign, to hold the rule, which means to win an election. From 2 Esdras chapter 11, verse 24, "And I looked, and behold, 2 little wings separated from the 6, and remained under the head that was on the right side." And from 2 Esdras chapter 11, verse 25, "And I looked, and behold, these little wings planned to set themselves up and hold the rule." The 2 little wings campaigned, won, and reigned briefly before disappearing. From 2 Esdras chapter 12, verses 1 through 3. "While the lion was saying these words to the eagle, I looked, and behold, the remaining head disappeared, and the 2 wings that had gone over to it, the head that was on the right side, arose and set themselves up to reign, and the reign was brief and full of tumult. And I looked, and behold, they also disappeared, and the whole body of the eagle was burned, and the earth was exceedingly terrified." We are told the destiny of the 2 little wings from 2 Esdras chapter 12, verse 21. 2, that is, the 2 little wings, shall be kept until the end. We are also told the fate of the 2 little wings. This from 2 Esdras chapter 12, verses 29 and 30. "As for your seeing 2 little wings passing over to the head which was on the right side, this is the interpretation. It is these whom the Most High has kept for the eagle's end. This was the reign which was brief and full of tumult, as you have seen." The 2 little wings are George Bush Jr. and Barack Obama. George Bush Jr. is 78 years old. A time, 2 times, and half a time must take place before George Bush Jr. dies. The running of a time, 2 times, and half a time. It must be soon. It must be Trump. Trump is the little horn of Daniel 7:8 and Daniel 7:25. This from Daniel 7:8. "I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another horn, a little one, before which 3 of the first horns were plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things." And from Daniel chapter 7, verse 25. "And he, that is, the little horn, shall speak words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and shall think to change the times and the law, and they shall be given into his hand for a time, 2 times, and half a time." Trump is one of the 8 kings, that is, U.S. presidents, of 2 Esdras chapter 12, verses 19 through 21. This time, when we see the 8 little wings, they appear as kings, that is, U.S. presidents, not as candidates campaigning for the U.S. presidency. Starting at verse 19, "As for your seeing 8 little wings clinging to his wings, this is the interpretation. 8 kings, that is, U.S. presidents, shall arise in it, whose times shall be short and their years swift. And 2 of them shall perish when the middle of its time draws near, and 4 shall be kept for the time when its end approaches. But 2 shall be kept until the end." Except for Trump, every one of the ex-U.S. presidents is either dead or has no legal pathway to return to the levers of power. The 8 kings are Ford, Reagan, Carter, Bush Sr., Clinton, Bush Jr., Obama, and Trump. The dead are Ford, Reagan, Carter, and Bush Sr. Those who cannot have a 3rd term include Clinton, Bush Jr., and Obama. That leaves us with only Trump as being available. It must be Trump. It must be now. Trump is at the levers of power now. The time span of a time, 2 times, and half a time has to be completed during his current or 2nd term. He cannot be reelected. More, he cannot die until after he completes the time span of a time, 2 times, and half a time, while he is at the levers of power. This time span will take place while the USA is in danger of falling. The time of the USA being in danger of falling has not yet taken place. It must be included in the events that occurred during the future time span of a time, 2 times, and half a time. From 2 Esdras chapter 12, verses 17 through 18. "As for your hearing a voice that spoke, coming not from the eagle's heads, but from the midst of his body, this is the interpretation. In the midst of the time of that kingdom great struggles shall arise, and it shall be in danger of falling. Nevertheless it shall not fall then, but shall regain its former power." As U.S. President, these great struggles and danger of falling will give Trump access to unprecedented levels of constitutionally authorized emergency power. From 2 Esdras chapter 12, verses 23 and 24. "In its last days the Most High will raise up 3 kings, one of whom is Trump, and they shall renew many things in it, and shall rule the earth and its inhabitants more oppressively than all who were before them. Therefore they are called the heads of the eagle." It must be now. The time span of a time, 2 times, and half a time of Daniel 7:25 will begin on February 9, 2025, which is day 1 of the 1335 days which end on October 5, 2028, the Festival of Tabernacles. And that's all for today's study. Until we meet each other again, either online or in person, blessings to you and your loved ones.